and how long have you been involved with Immersed?
Since the beginning, since the first one 5 years ago. A fortuitous conversation with Lucy in the cafe signed us up to the first one, which was pure chaos. And then, strangely, everyone was really surprised when we went back and tried to do it a second time. But since then, it's kind of worked really well, and it's been some really good experiences as a result.
Okay, awesome.
So how do you impact and contribute towards Immersed Festival?
Well, I've been working on Immersed for the last 5 years. It was kind of born a conception between me and some of the lecturers working in the music and sound area that really wanted to come together and give our students a real world learning experience that we could take out into the city and basically make some noise.
It's difficult. That's a difficult one. Has it grown? I think it's always been. It's been such a large and unruly bastard that has it grown in that sense. I think it's grown in terms of people getting involved, illustration, advertising, other courses kind of pulling in. There's been some really nice things where there was a big mural painted in the city as a result of Immersed last year, which was really cool. So our partnership with No Music on a Dead Planet is really great. So it has grown in those sorts of senses. We've picked partnerships with Orchard, partnerships with Cardiff Council. But in terms of scale, it was always a massive, monstrous. It's always been difficult.
I do it for the people, look, my day once know what it is. Never change, not never switch. I'm from the man, I'm from the bitch. Talking blessings.
The point of it is to get popular and commercial music students started to face outwards to industry. And what you have is a festival which they have to create from scratch. We have a venue and a date when the festival is going to happen. In this case, it's the 18th of February at the Tram Shed in Cardiff. And then from that point, from the beginning of October, they have to work out how they make that festival happen. So there's a lot of interaction with people outside of the university. There's a lot of interaction with other industry professionals. There's a lot of interaction with themselves. It's getting used to working in teams, developing leadership skills, digital literacy, that kind of thing. So that's my involvement is the supervision of that module. But it's all about getting third year students to start looking out into industry and where they're going to fit when they leave college.
And why it's important for students is because it's not really many experiences like that that you can get in terms of actually having to just get out and do stuff and just being kind of forced into, you've got to go and film this interview now, you've got to go and do this now, you've got to go and do that now, and real world time pressures.
Some of the headliners that we've had play there, I look back in complete awe when I, rewatch Richard Ashcroft playing on stage, Pete Doherty, Bang Bang Romeo, and just some of those artists that weren't really at the stage of their careers that they are now, that they were when they played Immersed. I think the biggest example of that is when Tom Grennan played, and if you look at where he is in his career now, playing stadiums and arenas. I just find it immense that we've been able to do that with our small university projects in Cardiff City.
How long would you say the production process takes from dot until final big finale?
It's a really good question, that.
Yeah.
Not enough time.
No.
To be honest with you, I know from speaking to people, like we work with several industry professionals on Immersed, one of them being Captain Barrett, who up until last year was the head of music for the Boomtown Festival.
So I've mainly just been here as a kind of a bit of a guidance. So I've worked in festivals for 20 years. And I was head of music for Boomtown for 10 years. So booked a lot of different acts for them. And still do little bits and pieces. So yeah, just kind of giving a little bit of guidance as to what makes a good event and how to go about it as well. Because it can be, you know, when I first started, I had no clue what I was doing. You know, I just had to kind of fumble around until I got the right thing. So now it's nice to be able to pass that knowledge on to other people.
Hiya, my name's Minty. Over the years, it's certainly gone from being kind of like, okay, let's do a festival with the students, to now being like an actual industry entry-level experience for students. I think that's really good, and you know, it's certainly gained a level of momentum that has been noticed by you know, the Welsh music industry and obviously further afield, and that's shown in testament this year with the pairing with Orchard Live, you know, Wales's biggest independent promoter. I think that really gives a level of credibility to the Immersed Festival and also to, you know, the University of South Wales and its students, you know.
What lessons have you learnt from USW that you still use today?
Music's hard, I think, is probably one of them. I guess I've sort of like come into my own a little bit. I came as like this shy little timid girl, and now I don't know, this. So I definitely still use whatever that skill is today, so that's good.
Tell me all your little secrets. How'd you get me so damn high?
There's no tagline for Immersed, is there really? But it is very much underpinned by the future. It is all about the future, isn't it? You know, whether it be the future of the students and the individuals working on the production, the future of the artists and performers that are playing these things. Like, you know, I mentioned Richard Ashcroft and you know, and artists of the like that have played the festival in the past. But it's very much about your, you know, Boy Azooka, your Adwife, your Buzzard, your Minas, your gosh, I could reel off so many artists, your Panic Shack, you know, like that play locally and are growing, you know, by the week, by the month.
Will Immersed be bigger next year?
Ooh, bigger.
It's not always about being bigger, but obviously the Tramshed is a sizable and scalable venue and project. So hopefully, if there continues to be an appetite for it, and we can pull together an exciting programme, we definitely want to continue doing what we know that we do well, and providing that platform for more students to take part and enjoy.
You folks work super hard, and that's been recognised, and so it's been really lovely to see that grow over the last, you know, 3-4 years.
Every year we kind of look at it and go, right, okay, this was pretty intense. How do we do this? How do we, you know, we've got the filming of the main stage down pretty slick, and hopefully that'll allow us to maybe do something a little bit different with some of the other crew next year or whatever. You know, we had an interesting challenge this year of like, oh, can you make us a documentary? Oh, okay, yeah, let's do that. And so that brought something different to it. Immersed TV, you know, that kind of popped up from the pandemic, and that brought something different to it. So we'll see. It's like, yeah, anything. It could change in, you know, in a different way next year. But yeah, please not any bigger.
Yeah.
So that was a really pleasant memory, yeah.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah. Oh, and getting locked in the TV studio at 2 a.m. That was fun. Yeah, that was the highlight. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, you can go into that a little bit if you want to.
Yeah, well, it was just kind of having to bring all the kit back. And I had no idea that after a certain time, no passes work, except for, like, you have to have this golden security pass. And so I was bringing kit in the TV studio, and I'm holding the door open with a fire extinguisher, and I just carrying all these poles, and I knocked over the fire extinguisher, and the door locked behind me. And I was just like, oh yeah, well, that'll be fine. I'll just get my card. And then it was just like, no, I am stuck in here. So I'm just banging on the doors, just shouting until the security guard came and rescued me. And I was really tired, and it'd been a long weekend, and I was just like, yeah, a lot of swearing, a lot of F-bombs, C-bombs, all kinds of bombs.
Well, hopefully it doesn't happen again.
You never know.